sure everyone, it's a special edition. It's the story of Maxi Priest.
I just wanna be close to you.
Much of which you'll be hearing for the first time.
Oh, baby, baby, it's a wide world.
I'm Winfred Williams. We'll be right back.
You can't lie to me, 'cause I know just what you need. And nobody can lie to me.
Welcome back. As a product of blending various forms of music in its formative years, Jamaica's popular music has always been a subject of fusion. The latest being dancehall's flirtation with electronic dance music, EDM. But looking back at its 50-odd year journey, reggae's most consistent influencer has always been R&B, with one artist towering over everybody else when it comes to international mainstream success, infusing the two genres. That artist is British-based reggae superstar Maxi Priest.
Waking up to a dry lane.
After breaking in the UK during the mid-1980s, the reggae priest, whose Jamaican parents named him Alfred Elliott, immediately became a fixture on charts in the UK and Jamaica. But it was the world Priest was after.
She give me love, love, love.
And at the turn of the 1990s, he obliterated the biggest music market on the planet with this track.
I just wanna be close to you.
This made Maxi Priest the first reggae artist to score a US Billboard #1. The Closer to You crooner went on to conquer and fed his infectious reggae fusion to millions around the globe. Over 30 years laced with some of music's most coveted accolades and still going strong. Maxi Priest right now, right here on stage. Maxi, welcome, sir.
Oh my God.
Good to have you on set for the first time.
Thank you so much.
Wow.
And it's been a while.
It's been a while. It's been a while. Seems to me you're spending a lot of time in Jamaica these days.
Yes, I mean, you have to travel here, there, and everywhere. I have a home here. I have a home in the States.
Yes.
I have a home in England. So.
Okay, there's a home in Jamaica.
That's
you see,
right.
that we didn't know.
Oh, come on.
Because when I say spending a lot of time here, I'm talking about just being here cooling out and not necessarily working.
Well, there's a little bit of that too, but at the same time, this is home for me.
Okay.
I have a home here.
That's the question I was going to ask you.
Yes.
If Jamaica is home to you.
It sure is.
And one gets a sense that there's a new energy right now in your career.
Something where there's life, there's hope.
Yes.
And I have a strength and I have life.
Yes.
So I'm moving forward.
See it?
That's right.
So, because I'm listening to some singles. Mm-hmm. A couple of singles. One of which we're going to drop the video for in a second.
Easy to Love.
Easy to Love. Mm-hmm. We're going to drop that video right now. But I get the sense when I listen to these records that you're in this comfortable place, Maxi, with your career, with your achievement, and there's a new energy in that same
I
thought.
think you hit a point there. The fact that I am comfortable with myself, and the fact that I've done quite a bit of work.
Yes.
That kind of makes me feel a lot more at ease with the whole business.
Absolutely.
I have been blessed to be doing what I'm doing for so long. I've been rewarded. And I've shared my rewards with both family, friends, and colleagues.
Yes.
So that's what kind of makes me comfortable. I'm blessed. The Lord has blessed me to do something that most people cannot do. Most people are not doing things that they love then.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So I have to just say, give thanks.
No thanks. All right, we're going to talk more about that, but let's go to this video now.
Yes.
Easy to Love.
Easy to Love
right now.
Baby, I've been up and down. This whole world I've been around. Something special in you I found. You lift me up when I am down. You make it easy. Easy to love you, baby.
All right, Easy to Love, a brand new one from the priest, the reggae priest, Maxi Priest. And while he's loving that girl, I'm finding it easy to love this song, and I'm sure you'll agree with that. Maxi, this song is easy to love.
Totally.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a joy, to work with Bulby on this song.
We're going to take a break right here. When we come back, we're going to talk to Maxi about growing up in Britain, and later, the journey, the superstar journey. All coming up right here on stage.
You make it easy. Easy to love you, baby. You make it easy. Easy to love you, baby.
Let's talk about your growing up in Britain. What was it like? What the family was like, and so on. What was the family like?
Well, my family is a very
You were born in
working
Britain.
class. I was born in England.
Yes.
From a family of 9 brothers and sisters. I am the second to last of those.
Yes.
My parents are from St. Elizabeth, South.
Both of them.
Both of them are from St. Elizabeth. My parents came to England late 50s.
Yes.
Late 50s. I was born sometime after that. Out of the 9, 4 of us was born in England.
Okay.
So home in England, especially in the house, was very much Jamaica.
Okay.
When you step out the door, the greeting might not be so welcome. It was like, why don't you go back to your own country?
Oh.
Who are you?
Oh.
Where you from? You're not from here. You're from somewhere else.
Oh.
But home,
So you had that. You faced that.
oh,
Maxi.
definitely. School, all of that. We would have to fight with people for all kind of nigger, these kind of words
Yes.
would come at you, going to school, stuff like that, racialism, all of that we had to go through at school. Home was refuge. When you got through those doors, it was like a whole different world. We were in Jamaica,
Yes.
in London, every which way that we were brought up was very much Jamaican, West Indian culture. We're rice and peas pan Sunday. We're gongo soup pan Saturday.
Yes.
And all the ackee and saltfish and everything that you know. But living in London was difficult because we were always searching for an identity. We always, they say, Jamaica say we're not Jamaican.
Okay.
England say we're not English. Where we're born? In the sea? On the plane? What is it? What's going on? Why is it all so confusing? But the music, which was brought to my attention really through my elder brothers, the music and the culture kind of gave us a sense of belonging. I am somebody.
Ah.
This is my home.
That's what Jamaica was doing for you then.
Yes.
The reggae music coming out to
Yes.
Jamaica.
Yes.
And
Especially the Rastaman vibration, the burning spear.
So do you remember the days of slavery?
yeah.
The bob.
Steer it up, little darling.
The Dennis Brown.
Have you ever
I mean, Dennis Brown is my hero.
take me to the promised land?
That's my hero. That's my vocal coach that is my inspiration. But you know, not to stray the story, but you know, that's what gave us a sense of belonging.
To counter the racism,
Yes,
and the unwelcome presence
yes.
that you had.
You know, it's things like this. We would be in the garden playing football. My father would have him cabbage and him lettuce and him tomato and so forth. But and then we'd have a little area to play football. And then every time the ball went next door to the white neighbor's house, it would come back with a knife hole in it or something like that. Mm-hmm. You know, there was no form of welcome in that kind of sense. My parents had to live through that. We all had to live through that.
What was the economics like for your family? How rough, how tough was it?
It was rough. I mean, you know, there was like 3 or 4 of us in bed, you know, in one bed. You know, the whole mattress them with the spring come up at night.
Same as some of us would experience right here in Jamaica.
Most definitely. I can remember as a young kid, there was like 3 or 4 families in that one house, you know, and there was a very strong strength, a family strength, whether they were immediate family or not. You know, there was a bond between our people and that, you know, 4 family in one house, and then you work. Sometimes the same bed that this person would sleep in, the other person would go to work in the day, and then the next person would have to take over that bed, and then they go to work in the evening.
How far did you go in school?
Not as far as I wish I did. My father died when I was 14 years of age.
Okay.
And by that time, most of the other families them had dispersed and built their own kind of homes and situation. So we had to become, or I had to become man very, very early.
Yes.
In order to keep up with the housekeeping and the bills, or, you know, the house of fall down. When my father was alive, everything was kind of immaculate.
Yes.
You know, we'd clean the staircase, clean the skirting board, everything would be immaculate. But when, and you know, as a young kid, you're kind of ignorant of the fact that of all of these different things that your parents is doing. So you kind of wanted to get out of that.
Okay.
You know, so in a strange way, and you know, and I don't really like to say it, but it's like when my father died, it was kind of like I'm kind of free, you know, and then we kind of run riot in the house and become man very kind of early.
So you couldn't afford school? The family couldn't afford school, or you wanted
not that
to,
we couldn't afford school.
Ignore school.
You were just trying to
be man, to grow up, to get out there?
A little bit too fast, you know? And then, as I said, once my father died, then this fast thing became really fast.
Okay. So you got in trouble?
Because the bills then was coming. The house had to, you know, somebody have to take care of the situation here. You know what I'm saying? So we became men really fast. So I had to be working on a building site and stuff like that very, very early.
Yes.
You know, so it was like school, work.
Okay.
We have to get some money to sort out the situation here, because my mom was, you know, she wasn't well a lot of the times. She also passed very early. But, you know, she was going through a lot of strokes. She went through 6 strokes, pneumonia. And you have to just kind of understand that we were young. We were very young and not really knowing the seriousness and the responsibility of what was
in front of you,
going on or in front of us, you know. Other than the fact that we soon cotton on that there's bills coming through the door and somebody have to pay these bills.
So, so when did music come? Apart from construction work, menial labor work, what else have you done or wanted to do before music?
Well, I did carpentry as building work. I don't know. I think that I was
Still
forever
searching?
dreaming
Yes.
of music.
Music, okay.
Music was my refuge. It was like, you know, if I get beaten from my father, me run underneath the bed and by myself and just sing.
Yes.
And sing away my sorrows. And then, you know, also we were going to church at the time too.
Were you recognized as being talented at
Yes,
that time?
most definitely.
How early?
I can remember my uncles would always come around, especially like Christmas time or them kind of things. They would, you know, remember, those times was black and white TV, sometimes no TV.
See.
So amongst us as family, we had to kind of like create our own entertainment.
Yeah.
My sisters them were into like Jackson 5, Donny Osmond and these people. My brothers them were into Burning Spear, anything Studio One, you know, King Tubby's and the Upsetters and all of this. And I would be passed around somewhat like the entertainer.
Yes.
So I would have to sing a little bit of Jackson 5, sing a little bit of Beatles,
Okay.
sing to my mom,
So you-
especially my mom.
Yes.
Because she was a missionary in Pentecostal church.
Okay.
So you can imagine, we're going church from we knee high,
Yes.
or ankle high. You know, from where baby we born in church.
Yes.
So I would have to sing to my mom, saints don't stop praying for what the Lord has done. I would have to sing to my brother them some Burning Spear or some Bob Marley or some Dennis Brown. Dennis Brown is my thing.
Okay.
And, you know, I kind of made my own little world
Yes.
amongst my 9 brothers and sisters. Then.
So you were the big voice in the family.
They would always just kind of push me
Yes.
to do that. I guess, you know, my sisters sung, but maybe they just liked my voice. you know.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right. So those early years, how did you now get into the pop space, and how were you discovered now?
Well, the discovery comes from there.
From the family discovering
To school.
Right. Yes.
Then the teachers them wanting you to sing the carol songs and all of these different things in the school. To the playground.
Yes.
In the playground era, them all of them on them. Yo, priest, sing a tune, sing a Dennis Brown tune. You know, because as I said, they were all facing the same kind of cultural struggles that I was, and then you had new kids coming in from Jamaica, as some of my brothers as well, and would sing some reggae songs in the playground, and then from there to sound system.
Okay.
And then we built our own sound system. To cut a long story short, from that I went into a sound system called Saxon International. And then we would sing in the parties and in the clubs. And before I even put a record out, I was singing on sound system and signing autographs. You know.
Okay. So you were a community star.
Yes.
Family star to community star.
Yes.
Hold it right there, Maxi Priest. We want to take a break right here. When we come back, we talk to Maxi about superstar, the journey, the superstar journey, right here on stage.
Make my dreams come true. You make my dreams come true. I just wanna be close to you. Stayed away, it hurt so much without your touch. Now I'm back. Now you say just a little bit longer, baby. Oh, my love keeps growing stronger.
Welcome back. It's the Maxi Priest story right here on stage. We're tracing the story as much as we can. From a poor kid growing up in London to a superstar. So Maxi,
Yes.
the playground, the community, the home endorsed you as a big talent.
Yes.
All right, now jump into the first exposure now in the commercial space.
Well, you know, from playing on the sound system, to me was the commercial space as well. I was I met up with a guy called Paul Robinson,
Yes.
otherwise known as Barry Boom, from a group called One Blood in England. You know, he'd been doing the music business for a long time before that. In fact, my mother asked him whether he would take me and carry me to the studio.
Yes.
Because you have to imagine also, I'm on the sound system. It's all about late night. You have to juggle. You have to do whatever you can do to kind of make your way around town. So I was going to work at the same time and also doing the sound system. So Paul came around and took me into the studio. I did my first song, which was a song called Hey Little Girl.
Hey, a little girl, so won't you have a date with me?
I can remember after that, you know, I had my box under my arm, bringing it back to the community and sell your one records. A guy called Erskine Thompson started to inquire about what I was doing. By then, cassette tapes were going back to Jamaica and also to the United States. I had about 4 different record companies at the time bidding to sign Philip Levi,
Okay.
because I did a track with Philip Levi, which is a song called My God, My King,
Oh, yes.
which is a song that was produced by myself and also Barry Boom.
We're talking about the early 80s now.
Yes, which was the first success for us from England to Jamaica.
Crossed over into Jamaica.
To
right.
return something back
That
to
song was
Jamaica.
a mega hit in
And
Jamaica.
we got a #1 in Jamaica.
Oh, yes.
No, whoa. The world turned upside down. We have done something. We make something up. And we have got our own people supporting the thing. I did a song on the B-side of that, which was called Sensimina. Island then signed Philip Levi, and then Erskine Thompson started to come around and inquire about what I was doing.
Okay.
And then we had this bidding war of these 4 different record companies
Got you.
for me to sign to. I chose to go with Virgin Records. Virgin Records. I signed to Virgin Records. I did 17 years at Virgin Records
Wow.
to jump the story.
Yes. What was the first hit for Virgin?
I think the first hit was Strolling On. A track called Strolling On. Strolling On.
Yeah.
And that went to top 10 in England. It didn't really come out of England yet. And then I had a consistency of a few, some guys of all of them.
Some guys have all the luck.
I did my first album, which was called You're Safe.
Yes.
I charted with that, and wow, we started to see some food, some money. So, and you have to also understand, I was working at the time. I was still on
working,
the building side.
Even at your first album.
Yes, because by every means, we had to kind of support the situation. This is my mother and father house, which they work
Yes.
for.
Yeah.
It's not a just come thing. You know what I'm saying? We work hard for it, so we want to preserve it and keep it. So, and that's one of the things that, you know, I have a lot of respect for my father for, is that all of us we all workers. From my brother them to my sister them. It's about grafting.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So
you understood the virtue
oh,
of
most
work,
definitely.
all
yes.
of you.
So I was working on the building side. My music was playing on the radio. I was doing my music thing. But doing sound system at the same time. And all these different things was happening. Did the first album. I so much wanted to go to Jamaica to record the next album.
Okay.
And I sat down with Erskine and the record company. I said, I want to work with Sly and Robbie. That's where it's at. So Erskine called Sly and Robbie them. We brought together Sly and Robbie, Willie Lindo, Robbie Lynn. I was fortunate enough to bring Mafia and Floxy them to Jamaica with me also. You know, also as a support team.
Yes.
You know, because they
know you well.
They know me well and
okay.
all that. So we were up at Stony Hill studio. I remember traveling on the plane and Erskine Thompson saying to me, this song here, Wild World, you need to check this out. You need to do this song. Because, you know, I had already done a whole lot of demos for songs and written songs to carry to Jamaica, because I'm not going unprepared. You know,
Wild World was one of those tracks.
Wild World was one of those tracks that Erskine kept pushing on me. And I'm going, I don't like that. I don't want to do that song.
Yeah.
Even to a point where we reach in the studio and Sly and Robbie them say, my yo, watch yourself, you know, that tune there. And I'm going, why? You know, and the man them roll off. 1, 2. Because remember them time they were live.
Yes.
The band, me behind a screen, and when they roll off 1, 2,
you have to go.
You better run with the train.
Get on that rhythm.
Because the train gonna leave you.
Yes.
And that's how we...
That's how you laid that track?
Yes.
Wow.
And
that was
Sly and Robbie that would laugh now to know that. I kept saying, I don't want to do this tune. I don't like the tune. And the man I said, my yo, watch that tune there.
Yeah.
And I even had a meeting with the man, you know, because the atmosphere kind of get a little bit
tense. So you were trying to kill it. You don't want this tune.
Yeah, and then Shakespeare pulled me aside. My old, try to take my bird. Sing!
And that's a breakout hit on that album, Maxi.
Yes.
By 1989, you were now knocking heavily on the door of international mainstream.
Yeah.
That's where we're going to take a break right here as we continue to trace the story of the Reggae Priest right here on stage. When we come back, we're going to talk now about Maxi Priest taking the entire world with reggae fusion. We'll be back.
Oh, baby, baby, it's a wild world. It's hard to get by just for a smile, girl. You make my dreams come true. I just wanna be close to you.
Welcome back. Our guest is Maxi Priest right here on stage, and we're talking about his story, his tremendous story in the music, in reggae music. So Maxi, the 90s came around.
Yes.
Wild World, burning up charts everywhere. When did you first come to Jamaica? Was it when you did that album?
When I did the album.
That was your first visit to Jamaica?
First time I stepped into Jamaica.
Yes.
And I could remember people coming up to me going, you're Jacob Miller cousin. Me and you used to go school together. Me and you used to go to school together?
They didn't think you're British.
No. In no what shape or form.
Yeah.
When I landed in Jamaica, everybody thought I was
even then
born
you were authentically Jamaican, as you are now.
As I said, you know, that's how
you have the lingua, you have the vibe.
That's how we grew.
Yeah.
That's how we grew. My house in London was Jamaica.
Yeah.
Anything Jamaican that was in that house.
Of course. Well, the music speaks for that. The music tells that story. So the early 90s.
Yes.
Okay.
It was like a whirlwind. It was plane to plane, places to places, interview to interview.
From Wild World.
From Wild World.
Right.
From the song that I didn't want to do.
All right, so talk about the mega hit now.
Yes.
Close to You.
I just wanna be close to you.
I think that's the third album. And excuse me if I'm getting it mixed up here. It could be the third or the fourth album. We decided to bring Sly and Robbie them to England.
Yes.
With Jeffrey Chung and also Handel Tucker. And we did this album in England, and obviously the song "Close to You," and wow, that just changed the whole of the whirlwind was going.
Yes.
It become faster and faster and faster, and it was just going crazy.
Number one in the US, the United
Yes.
States. The first reggae artist to do so,
Yes.
to score a number one song on the Billboard
Yes.
chart, the mainstream Billboard
Which I
chart.
found was ridiculous because, you know, Bob and Dennis and all of these guys did so much tremendous and wonderful works that I just couldn't understand why it was that we wasn't kind of getting these kind of situations, these chart success. I guess I quickly found out that it's promotional team, it's willingness, it's you know, working with the situation.
How did the Americans see you? Did they see you as a Jamaican reggae artist, a British reggae fusion artist? Who were you to them at
all
the
of
time?
those names are all part and parcel of it, because wherever I went, them say, I'm British. Me say, okay, good. Them say, I'm Jamaican. I'm say, okay, great. I'm a part of the world. I am God's child. That is who I am. You know, they say, them say me this, them say me that. I am God's child, and I put what my mother always tell you: if you put in hard work, something will come up.
Just a little bit longer, baby, for my love keeps growing stronger.
So you followed up that with a collab with Roberta Flack.
Whoa. And I say whoa because Roberta Flack to me is like foundation of this music business.
Yes.
She's like one of those brick that is in the building of building the music industry.
Yeah.
You know, like how you that talk about Marvin Gaye.
Solid.
Solid as a rock. And, you know, I got this call. She's like, hello. I was like, hi. This is Roberta Flack. I said, what? Who? This is Roberta Flack. And I was just stunned for a minute. And then she asked me, said, we got into a conversation. Cut the long story short, she asked me to do this duet. And I was like, wow, most deaf. The conversation ended, I put the phone down. I met one big scream in the house. And called my sister them and my brother them and said, Roberta Flack just asked me to do a tune.
Yeah.
No, I mean, and it might sound crazy now, but when you grow and you grow with all of the R&B and all of the influence, especially the influence of the R&B to us, to our music, through Studio One and all, a lot of the support for reggae music.
Yes.
When somebody like that kind of asks if we do a tune, it's like, to me, it's, yo, it's a blessing.
Burn up the charts. All over the world
Number
now.
one in the R&B charts.
Number 5, I think,
Number
on
5
the Billboard.
in the Billboard charts. And, you know, still plays today.
And in that same period, Shabba Ranks arrived.
Yes, yes. I actually think I did the track with Shabba Rock before
Roberta.
Yes.
It was Shabba before Roberta.
Yes.
Okay.
But you know, by that time we were we were doing. We were riding high, okay? And I meet Specialists. Specialists have a track that he got from Handel Tucker and Sly, and I think Mikey Bennett too. He played the track to me, and I said, "Please, you on the ranks. You on the ranks, on this. A murder." I'm like, yo, because you also have to remember, sir, I came from sound system. So me have DJs is a part of me.
Yes.
You know
So you could relate to it easily.
Hands down. But I liked the flavor of the tune, of the track. I reach New York, myself, Mikey Bennett, and Brian Gold. We never had a song for the rhythm. We had this rhythm for a while, and we did not have a song for the rhythm. So we decided, all right, the three of us meet New York. We were in the Howard Johnson Hotel, and we sat down there in that room, and we sweat until we came up with that song. Wow. And if I remember rightly, we even came up with the remedy for your heart, may have the remedy for your brain, that part of it in the song. The next day, studio. You know, when you go to studio with Shabba Rock, it's like, and Specialists them, it's like a dance. The studio is cock. There was a good 30 people in the studio.
And this was in New York?
In New York.
Yeah.
Deli Dread, Nami, Banking.
Studio loaded.
The place is cock. But that just gave it so much energy.
Okay.
That by the time we finished in the studio, 30, 40 people gone, left, right, and center gone, go tell the world, say, watch out. This tune is coming.
Yes.
But that's the energy, and that is so much the energy that I think that we've kind of lost in today's
music
situation, where, and when I say that, it's because one person can go to a machine and build everything, and rely on, you know, him and the next two other people to really spread the word.
Yes.
Which, you know, which kind of makes it's weak. You know?
Yeah.
Whereas when we used to roll off and the whole bands and everybody feel our energy and everybody's loving the energy, makes you want to just leave the studio and spread the word and spread the vibe.
Okay. Because the energy, the confidence is already there.
Totally.
There's a momentum that was built at that level, in that studio, on that day.
On that day.
So you had no doubt that this would take the world.
Yo.
Watch this. Ain't no use pretending you don't feel the way I do. Check this.
We want to look now at the growth of reggae, the evolution of the music. After 50 odd years of the music, you took it to its pinnacle. In particular, the best performer, as we say earlier, of reggae fusion. And in fact, that's what the international marketplace was calling it in the 90s, reggae fusion. That's a fusion of R&B and reggae. Now,
We've always been fusion in many, many different parts of the music.
Yes.
Even if you look way back when.
Yes.
You know.
And but looking at it though, the evolution of the music and where it's at right now.
Yes.
When you look back, have we gone off track?
We have to evolve and we have to move and we have to change.
Yes.
You know, and there are ups and downs as we move along in life. These are all part of life, right? We have done some good things. We've done some bad things. And we have to kind of take all of those in perspective. You know, we're talking about Sean Paul. We're talking about Shaggy. We're talking about Shabba Ranks and many greats before us.
Yes.
Bob, Ken Booth, John Hall. A lot of these guys have helped to keep this thing and make this thing where it is today. What you put in is what you're going to get. We need support from all folks, from all walks of life. You know, if you look at some of the footages with Bob Marley's concerts back in the day, and you look at the type of audiences that were there, you know, we've kind of pushed away some of those people.
Okay.
As well as some of us have tried to embrace some of those people. You know, this is a business. It's not. Because it's entertainment. That doesn't mean to say it's not a business. It's a business.
Okay.
It's a job. Just like how I would have been doing carpentry, I am now doing music. And if I don't get up at morning or evening or whatever and do my job, I cannot pay my bills. My kids, them cannot function.
Yes.
Well, so we have to embrace people. This, you know, I don't want to do music for just me and my family, them to sit down in my house. I want to do music for the world. Not so
don't limit yourself, you're saying?
No, you cannot limit yourself.
But speaking of audiences, Maxi, why do you suppose the Americans embraced reggae fusion and almost totally ignored or blocked even the roots reggae?
I'm not going to say that they refuse roots because they love Bob Marley.
Yes, but they did not. They did not give him the props until he was dead.
That's true too.
When they felt he was no...
But do you think that we also gave him his props when he was alive? I'm not so sure about that.
True.
Because when I was in England, it was really all about Dennis Brown, Gregory,
John Holt,
Ken Booth, and you can name them just as much as I can. You know, there was a point where they looked at Bob as pop music in those days. When I was a kid, you know, I found that we in England was a massive support to Bob's situation. When, to my knowledge and what I've seen growing up, when Bob died was when Jamaica really, really embraced Bob. That is to my knowledge. You know, one of the songs that I always pinpoint to is, he sang a song, "It's a punky reggae party," and then him say, "And it's all right." Because him now
discriminate.
Him now watch people things. He's on a mission. And to bring people to the music.
To get heard, you need to
culture.
bring the ears, get those ears.
Absolutely.
Yes.
You know, when you get the ears, then you can be heard.
All right, we're jamming. See, I wanna jam it with you.
A little about your future now, Maxi Priest, because you're comfortable where you are, and as we were saying earlier on, you're not anywhere near retiring. You're still sounding great, you're still passionate, you're still recording records. I've heard a couple of bad records, and I'm wondering where they're gonna go. I'm excited about these records, the prospects for these records doing well.
I am loving me right now.
Yeah, so where are you heading, Maxi?
To the sky.
Yeah.
To the moon, to the stars.
So we'll say you've been there before.
You know, I just want to keep this mission going. You know, that as we said before, the Dennis and the Ken Booths and the John Holtz and all those brethren and before my time created. I just want to keep that mission going so that we can build situations like Bob Marley so that you know, so that we can make life a little bit more easier for the offsprings. You know, Marcus said, you know, we don't live for ourselves, we live for the generation that comes after us.
Okay.
And that's all I want to do. I want to dig and plant and grow so that the generation after me can find a better
Speaking
soil.
of which, talk about your family, because I know you have, there are 2 sons in the music. How many?
6 sons.
6 sons, but 2 are in the music.
And 2 daughters.
2 daughters, yes?
Yes. And I'm very, very proud of all of them. They are university students. my two boys, Marvin Priest is in the music business, signed to Sony Epic. He's based in Australia.
Yes.
Between Australia and New York, and obviously in come home and do the same rounds. I have Ian Ryan, who is more in like the kind of rap, R&B.
Yes. Heard of him, yes.
Kind of thing. My daughters and my other sons choose to go into, take the university and do other trades
academics
and so forth.
Yeah.
My last boy, Che, look out. Just look out.
Oh,
and you might
music.
find him. You might find him on YouTube as well.
Okay.
You'll find him on YouTube as well. But they all can sing. They're all musically inclined.
Yes.
They all, you know, one of the biggest complaints I used to get from the teachers them is, why is your son always humming? Why is your daughter always humming? They're disturbing the class. Well, I don't know what I can do about that. Because I ain't going to stop that. I can't look at my child. Me as a singer, I can't look at my child and say, stop the humming. That's how it starts. It's a
So you've ensured that they're all educated. What about the moms?
Yes.
Or mom? How is that part? What can you tell us about their mothers or mother? Because I'm not sure.
They have done fantastic jobs. You know, because you also have to understand that I'm here, there. You know, I'm traveling.
Yes.
You know, but family is very, very important. Very, very important. I come from a very
You've never been married, have you?
I've never been married, and I'm not thinking about it.
Okay, so what family you say is very, very important
Very,
to
very
you.
important. And I come from a very tight-knitted family.
Yes.
You know, me and my brothers and sisters are very, very close. Very tight.
And though not married, you still recognize family as being critical
Yes.
to anyone's survival.
Yes.
And that your kids are your kids, and they know they you can't be there for them all the time, but these kids see you as dad.
Yes,
good
of
dad,
course.
great dad,
Oh my
Maxi
gosh.
Priest.
I think you'd have to put them here to stand up and talk for themselves. But, you know, I have so much love with my kids.
Yes.
So much love. You know, and I always preach and teach an open mind.
Yes.
You know, and love, don't matter which color, class, or race you may be. That is what I preach to my kids.
It's important you say that to our kids in Jamaica, because in our music sometimes one gets the impression that the kids, the young men in the music believe that they should just have kids and so on, and not be fathers, not be there for their kids.
Kids
It's
are very
important.
expensive, and it's a very, very serious thing, because that is where our future lies. You cannot just have kids and just walk away from the situation. It don't work like that. You know, the child needs, as well as it needs a mother, it needs a father.
Yeah.
You know, and somebody with some good role model. You know, whoa, it's not a game. It's not a game.
Back to Priest. What a
Respect.
marathon, sir.
Give thanks.
We respect your coming and talking to us. We appreciate it. Thank you very much.
And I appreciate you too. You know, you've been doing this for a long time.
Oh yes, quite a while, and it's the first time you get to come on our set, and
Won't be the last.
and we are grateful. And we'll be tracking these new material that you're putting out, and continue to track your career. And now we need to zero in on the kids to see where they're at.
Bless it.
Thank you, sir. Maxi Priest, right here on stage. Winford Williams, on behalf of all of us, thanking you for joining us. Do join us again next week for more.